Hello everyone, welcome to the sixth installment of this video project. I must apologize because I think in my first video I told you all that this was going to be a 10-part installment. That is not true. Some things have changed, so instead of 10 parts, we will now have 7, which means that we are coming up on the end. Yay! But at the same time, it is not the end of the discussion, and I encourage all of you, all of my viewers, to continue thinking about and discussing with others, your family, your friends, how it is that your gender, sex, sexuality impacts you and your life, how big it is as far as part of your identity, and the way that it impacts your life and society around us. So just because this video project is coming to an end does not mean that the discussion has to end. So today's topic I found extremely interesting, especially because I am 21 years of age, and the people that fall within my age group, we are starting to think a lot about our futures, careers, jobs, and what it is that we want to do with ourselves. And how does our gender identity, our gender expression impact our ability to go out into the workforce and work well with others? So, the question that we are going to be discussing today is, how has or does your gender identity aid and or impede your ability to ask for what you want and need mentally, emotionally, and or physically? So, I took this question two ways, or at least got two things out of it. So, I find that I usually don't have to ask for help, because there are always so many people willing to help or take over what it is that I'm doing. So, this can be a good and a bad thing. So, if I'm walking to a store or something like that, walking up to the door of a store, and there is a man or male presenting individual in front of me, or will get to the doors first, they'll open the door, hold it for me, and I'm like, oh, that's really nice, that's very sweet. It's a gentlemanly thing to do. And I try not to look too much into it because, yeah, it's probably a gendered act, but at the same time, is someone genuinely being nice? And I would hold the door for them as well and hope that they don't feel emasculated by me holding the door for them. Because it honestly is just a really nice thing to do. It's a small gesture. But also, I find that in different settings, like organizing an event, or when you're at work working on like a document or something like that, people will unwarranted, like unwanted or unsolicited, hey, do you need help with that? And it's not that there's nothing intrinsically wrong with asking for help, with offering help, but at the same time it gets me thinking about, like, what was their intention behind that? Do they want to help me? Like, are they bored and they need something to do? Do they actually want to help me? Do I look like I'm struggling? Or did they look at me, look at what I was doing, the complexity of the work, and think like either implicitly or explicitly, that, oh, this is a woman or a black woman, so she's probably struggling with this work. And taking what they think of me and my identities and taking their implicit biases and putting that onto my professionalism or my capability. And that's hurtful. It really is. Because not only does that make them think in their mind that black women or women are incapable of handling the same level of work that they are, but it also diminishes me, because every time I'll try to do something like that, it's like, hey, do you need help? Hey, I can take over that for you. You know, taking my ability to strive and challenge myself and also show what it is that I can do, by underestimating my abilities and taking, my opportunities from me, because I'm not capable in their minds because of something that I could not control. Um, but once again, that is not always the case. Sometimes it really just is people being genuinely nice and wanting to help. So it's very conflicting. It's one of those things where you have to always be thinking about who's on your side and who's not on your side, who can you go to for help and who will take that as a weakness. Which segues into the second part, that because women are often viewed as weaker and less capable in some settings, take like STEM for example, or corporate, in American culture, I find it's harder to ask for help when I need it for fear of being seen as weak. Um, Asking for help, it's not a weakness. It is actually a strength. Letting people know, like, hey, I need a little help with this. I can't do it all on my own. I need a push in the right direction, or I need you to show me how this works, and I can do the rest. That's a vulnerable moment. That's saying to somebody, hey, I don't have it all together. Like, I do need someone else's help. That's a vulnerable thing. But being able to be vulnerable, that is a strength. Being comfortable in your vulnerability, because when you ask someone for help, that is also a learning moment. It makes you stronger, that experience. But even though it is a strength, American culture like puts it in the light of weakness. Like, it makes it seem like a weakness, and it's not. But we have this American way that says pull yourself up by the bootstraps. You can, through hard work, you can make it on your own. You can be self-made, but that doesn't take into account all of the people that have been there to help you, to boost you up, so that way you can accomplish the things that you do. No one is entirely self-made. There are people in our lives that have helped us get to where we are. American culture is way too individualistic, and the consequences are that people are too scared to ask for help. And I find that women and men, we are quite similar in that respect, but the reason why we are very different. So, and I can't definitively speak for men or anything like that, and I'm not going to try, but I will speak on the things that I have noticed from my perspective, is that our culture, they talk to men and say, like, you've got to be strong, you got to be able to do it on your own, and you can't, men don't cry, men don't ask for help, they do it on their own, and they succeed every single time. There is a pressure to succeed by yourself and be self-made. So that is that is the way that men are pressured to not ask for help, and the way that please excuse me, that's my dog. um but they are pressured to not ask for help and to try to be self-made and to be strong and to formulate asking for help as weakness. And I've already talked about the way that asking for help is seen as a weakness for women because of the fact that they are already viewed as the weaker sex. So, in order to combat that, we try to be strong. We try not to ask for help, but at the same time, we are burdening ourselves and hurting ourselves by not asking for help when we really should. And we have to change that narrative. So, yeah, it's not straightforward the way that gender impedes or helps me ask for help when I need it. Um, I find that it's easier for me to ask for help when I'm asking someone that I trust, when I'm asking someone that I know will offer me help without asking me why or judging me for it. I ask for my mom for help all the time. That's because that is my mother. She is one of my major supporters in life, and I know that I can go to her and ask for help, and she will not just do it for me all the time. She will teach me how to do things so I can do it for myself. And in that way, she is making me a stronger individual. And I appreciate that about her. And I can go to my siblings for help. I can go to my father for help. And those are the people I can go to. That is my circle of safety. I can go to my best friend for help. Um, these are the people that I cherish in my life, who I know I can go to no matter what is going on. And I encourage any of you, all of you, to find those people in your life that you know you are safe with and that you can go to and be vulnerable with, and they won't judge you or diminish you in any way. So, yeah. Let me step off my soapbox for a second because I feel like that was a little preachy, but I really do mean it. Um, so, yeah, it's not straightforward in the way that gender has helped or impeded me. Um, because in some situations it has helped, in some situations it has impeded me, because I am a woman and I also sit at the intersection of being a black woman. So intersectionality matters at all times when it comes to navigating this world. So, yeah. I hope that was rather insightful, and I hope that it got your mind working and thinking about your own situation as far as how your gender identity has aided or impeded you in asking for help. And I encourage you to continue this discussion in the comments section. As always, be respectful, be kind, and just keep this a safe place for people to talk about their own experiences. Um, and yeah, I would love to see how these things have either affected you positively or negatively, and to just see all of y'all's narratives. It is really important that we see these diverse narratives and understand that our narrative is not the only narrative. We need to step outside of our box and recognize that there is a whole world out there with diverse experiences. All right. I will see you guys next time with the very last video. Um, and we will celebrate our last video. Thank you for being here throughout this journey, and I will see you guys next time.